Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Power of Her. In today's video, I want to share a story that might open the eyes of many people. Love should bring happiness, not pain, right? Well, I've been through it all, trapped in a relationship full of lies, manipulation, and toxicity that you can't even see coming. But look at me now. If you've ever felt broken or trapped in a harmful relationship, this video might bring a little light to your situation. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more inspiring stories. Toxic relationships. We've all heard of them, maybe even experienced them. Love, which is supposed to bring happiness, instead becomes the fire that burns the soul. I never imagined that the perfect relationship I once had could destroy everything. I thought I was in true love, but in reality, I was trapped in a web of lies and betrayal. I was someone full of hope, brave enough to chase my dreams and love with all my heart. But behind the smile I wore, there were deep wounds. My relationship began to show signs of being unhealthy. All the joy slowly faded, eaten away by egoism, manipulation, and control. Inside, I felt alienated, yet I couldn't escape. I felt locked in, as if something was holding my every step. Every word, every action, I felt like I was being slowly chipped away. Over time, I began to doubt myself. Was I enough? Was I worthy of love? All those questions haunted my mind. The love that should have been a source of strength became the source of my suffering. That was the beginning of a long journey that would bring about the biggest change in my life. Losing my self-confidence affected my daily life. I felt like a shadow of myself, living without purpose or hope. Every day, I tried to keep the relationship intact, even though I knew it was broken. I was scared to let go, because I thought there was nothing better than this. I feared facing a world without him. But the more I tried, the deeper I sank into the whirlpool of unhappiness that consumed my heart. But little did I know, in that darkness, there was light waiting to guide me out. Something bigger was waiting for me out there. I just had to stop waiting and start walking towards freedom. And when that moment came, I began to feel the monumental change in my life. That decision may have been difficult, but it was the beginning of my rebirth. The process of breaking down. Sometimes, we choose to stay in a comfort zone even though it hurts. I was afraid to face the reality that I was destroying myself. My days were spent pretending to be happy, ignoring the deepening feelings inside. Every time I tried to talk about what I was feeling, I always felt humiliated and shut down. I began to feel like I didn't deserve happiness. I was so afraid of losing him that I was willing to sacrifice myself. There were times when I felt worthless, even unworthy of love. All the things I once valued about myself disappeared in an instant. I felt like nothing more than a shadow, ignored, and not appreciated. Sometimes, I wanted to scream, rebel, but I was afraid of the consequences. Would I lose everything? Would I lose him? But the truth was, I had already lost myself long ago. I was so tied to this relationship, even though I knew it was unhealthy. I couldn't recognize myself anymore. A toxic relationship doesn't just damage the body, but also the soul. I was trapped in a circle of lies, guilt, and helplessness. I ignored the love for myself. I kept trying to fix this relationship, even though I knew it was impossible. I kept fighting, even though my heart was slowly breaking. All because of my fear of letting go. But there came a point where I just felt so tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of living a lie. Tired of myself. I wanted to change. I wanted to break free from this toxic cycle. The decision to walk away from this toxic relationship came like an explosion. I felt relieved, but at the same time, I was scared. Scared to face a world filled with uncertainty, but I knew I had to take that step. The turning point. The first few days after leaving the relationship were filled with confusion. It felt like walking through thick fog, not knowing which direction to take. I felt like I had lost part of myself, even to the point of not recognizing who I was. But slowly, I began to realize something incredible. I was still alive. I still had the chance to rebuild myself. I began to open my eyes to the world I had once neglected. I focused on myself, learning to love myself. I started getting to know myself again. It turned out, I had forgotten so many things I enjoyed, things that brought me joy. Every step I took brought a little peace, even though I knew the journey was long. There were moments when I felt so lonely, but I fought to become the best version of myself. I joined positive communities, got involved in activities that I enjoyed. I also started talking to people I trusted. Slowly, I learned to overcome that fear and loneliness. But what surprised me most was, I started feeling the priceless freedom. I could think clearly, plan my future without fear hanging over me. I realized that happiness came from within myself, not from someone else. I finally felt worthy of happiness, unconditionally. This turning point wasn't easy. I had to go through a lot to get here. But I knew that without experiencing those dark times, I would never know how strong I truly was. I felt like a warrior who had just won the greatest battle of my life. Finding strength in myself. I began to realize how much potential I had. Things that once felt impossible now became challenges I was ready to conquer. I learned to organize my life better, to take care of my physical and mental health. I started living with purpose, not just surviving. Every day was a small victory. I rediscovered the passion for life that had been buried deep inside. I found new hobbies, chased dreams I had once put on hold. Slowly, I built back my self-confidence. I felt like someone who had just been reborn, with unlimited potential. I also started wiping away the traces of my past that held me back. I didn't want to stay trapped in those bad memories. I learned to let go, to forgive, and most importantly, to make peace with myself. This wasn't an easy journey, but I knew it was something I had to do. The strength I found within myself brought amazing changes. I began to feel changes in myself. I was more confident, more independent, and more in control of my life. Sure, new challenges came, but I was ready to face them. I would no longer be a victim of my past relationship. And at that moment, I realized that I no longer needed to search for happiness outside of myself. Happiness was already within me. I had become strong enough to stand on my own and live life with passion. This transformation was a long journey, but I knew I was heading towards something better. Finding true love. After going through this long journey, I started to realize that love comes in unexpected ways. It turns out, true love isn't about possessing, but about supporting and respecting each other. I learned to love without sacrificing myself. I met someone who made me feel appreciated and loved sincerely. But this time, I knew that I had to protect myself. I didn't want to fall back into another toxic relationship. I wanted a relationship that gives, not takes. I knew that a healthy love is one that allows both to grow, not tear each other apart. This new relationship gave me even more strength. I felt respected, not just as a partner, but for who I truly am. I felt free, free to be myself, free to grow, and free to love with kindness. Now, I see the world in a different light. I see love differently. True love doesn't come with coercion or fear. True love comes with trust, respect, and understanding that we all deserve real happiness. And so, I feel like I am finally on the right path to happiness, no longer burdened by the past. The road ahead may still be challenging, but I'm ready to face it with a heart full of hope and a spirit ready for everything life has to offer. Awakening and self-awareness. Now, I realize that I've gone through an extraordinary journey that changed my life. I found strength in myself that I never knew was there. I used to be afraid to express myself, afraid to be myself. But now, I feel free and powerful. This journey taught me a lot of things. One of them is the importance of recognizing the signs of unhealthy relationships from the start. I will never let myself get caught in a relationship that drains my soul again. I now know how to love myself first, before I can love someone else. I also learned to value myself more. I used to feel like I wasn't good enough. But now, I know I am worthy of the best. I will never again accept treatment that doesn't respect me. I won't let anyone control my life again. This transformation hasn't been easy, but I am proud of the journey I've taken. I feel stronger than ever. I know that every small step I take brings me closer to the best version of myself. Now, I feel more ready to face life with all its challenges. I know that I no longer have to fight alone. I know that there's a strength within us all that can carry us through any obstacle. I feel more alive, more excited, and more ready to achieve the dreams I once abandoned. The unexpected twist. Just when I thought everything was going well, an unexpected surprise came my way. I received an offer I never imagined. The offer came from the very person who had once been part of my toxic relationship. But this time, I saw them in a completely different light. I didn't feel heartbroken. I didn't feel trapped. The offer came with so many questions. Why did they suddenly return? What did they want from me? But this time, I wasn't anxious. I no longer felt afraid to make a decision. I knew what was best for me. I could see their intentions clearly, and I realized that they no longer had a place in my life. I felt relieved when I made the decision to not go back. That surprise wasn't something to worry about. I was strong enough to keep moving forward without them. It was a tough decision, but I knew it was the right one. I felt free, and that freedom was guiding me toward a better path. With every decision I make, I become more certain that I'll never go back to my old life. I know I deserve a better life, and I won't let anyone take away my happiness again. This decision has given me even greater strength. I no longer feel trapped, and I know that this journey is mine to enjoy. I'm ready to face the future with my head held high, ready to achieve everything I've ever dreamed of. Closing and motivational message. I'm so proud of the person I've become. I used to feel trapped, but now I feel free. I know that this life journey is full of ups and downs, but I also know I can face it with courage. Toxic relationships aren't the end of everything, but the beginning of a long road to rebirth. We can all rise, we can all change, and we can all find true happiness. If you're going through the same thing, I want to remind you that you're not alone. You have the strength to change, to walk away from a toxic relationship, and to find the happiness you deserve. Don't let the past hold you back. You are enough. You deserve love that is healthy and respectful. Start your journey to freedom and happiness today. And remember, change starts from within. So, dare to take that first step. I believe in you, and I know a bright future waits you. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end, everyone. I hope the story I shared gives you some hope and strength, especially for those of you who are going through something similar. Remember, change is possible, and you deserve true happiness. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below if you found this story helpful or if there's something you'd like to discuss further. Feel free to share your own experiences in the comments, because we're here to support each other. I'll see you in the next video, and always remember, happiness starts from within. Take care, and see you next time.